Good evening. In the headlines today, President Reagan's State of the Union message will stress concern for the American family, while the Democrats' response will warn against too much emphasis on defense. Israel forced down a Libyan plane looking for terrorists who weren't there. And there's a report the Russians want $2 million for freeing dissident Anatoly Sharansky. The details are in our news summary coming up. Robin?
After the news summary, we have a documentary report from correspondent Charles Krause on the Philippines election. Congress watcher Norm Ornstein previews tonight's State of the Union message, then a roundup of governors' views of the state of the states with analysis by journalist Neil Pierce. We close with a documentary look at the troubled Caribbean nation of Haiti. Israeli jets today forced a Libyan plane to land in an apparent search for a top Palestinian terrorist, but released it when he wasn't found. The plane, an executive jet made in the United States, was carrying a crew of 3 and 9 passengers, including a high-ranking official of the governing party in Syria. Comments by Israeli ministers later suggested they expected to catch Abu Nidal, leader of a Palestinian faction linked with the recent attacks on Rome and Vienna airports. The plane was flying to Damascus from Tripoli, Libya, where several Palestinian guerrilla leaders attended a weekend meeting. The interception occurred about 50 miles east of Cyprus. Syria and Libya both accused Israel of air piracy. The U.S. State Department said there was no U.S. military involvement in the intercept. In Tripoli, that meeting of radical Arab and Palestinian groups agreed to form a revolutionary force and suicide squads to strike at American interests if the U.S. attacked Libya or any Arab country. One of those attending was Abdullah al-Ammar, an official of Syria's ruling Ba'ath Party, who was aboard the plane forced down by Israel.